Nazca Lines. Persuasive essay. If one browses the list of locations identified as World Heritage Sites, none remains more mysterious than the Nazca Lines of southwest Peru. These giant ground drawings cover an area of nearly 200 square miles. They have survived for many centuries. Prominent from the air, they first attracted world attention in the 1920s. At that time, airplane pilots reported the unique and inimitable creations. Some of the lines depict geometric shapes. Others show gigantic animals and plants. One monkey, for example, measures 360 feet long. Who were the anonymous designers of these shapes? Why were the Nazca Lines made? For nearly a century, experts have been in a lively, dynamic debate. They have done their utmost to explain a phenomenon that still frustrates rational explanation. German-born archaeologist Maria Reich prescribed what was for many years the prevailing view. Reich argued that the lines were a giant sun calendar and astronomical observatory. British astronomer Gerald Hawkins investigated this idea. His findings dislodged Reich's theory, but it did not thoroughly eradicate it. Critics of Hawkins have pointed out that he paid only marginal attention to the cultural context of the Nazca Lines. Hawkins has also been criticized for employing only a makeshift network of astronomical targets. His selection would make more sense in England than in the Southern Hemisphere. Thus, Hawkins may have only scratched the surface of the significance of the Nazca Lines. The Reich-Hawkins debate, at least, has unfolded on a sober playing field. Other theorists have spoken up, and they have not been reluctant to offer explanations that may easily be described as quaint. One theorist, for example, has proposed that the lines functioned as runways for landings. According to this theory, the inbound passengers were space aliens. After they landed, they intermarried with Earthlings. Was this theory deliberately intended to dupe the public? Perhaps it was. Its principal proponent previewed his ideas in a highly profitable best-selling book. The puzzles of the Nazca Lines are far from being solved. Among the pending theories, perhaps the most persuasive, claims that the lines had a religious purpose. According to this theory, ancient people walked the lines as pilgrims. These people worshipped mountain deities, largely because water came down from the mountains. For all cultures, water has a central role. The origin, movement, and function of water were subjects of fundamental importance. It may be, then, that the Nazca Lines were designed to be pilgrimage routes. This is the most feasible and convincing answer to the puzzle.
Anonymous. Anonymous. Anonymous is an adjective meaning unnamed, unknown, or lacking individuality and character. Most newspapers and magazines will not print anonymous letters to the editor. Or, some office buildings may be described as anonymous towers of steel and glass. Now you say anonymous. Repeat the word. Now let's try the second word in Unit 6. It is browse. Browse. Browse is a verb, meaning to nibble or graze, read casually, or window shop. Some animals come out of the woods at dawn and dusk and browse in backyards and on roadsides. And, during a visit to Santa Fe, you may browse through shops that sell Native American crafts and artwork. Now you say browse. Try the word again. Dupe. Dupe. Dupe functions as two parts of speech. It can be used as a noun, meaning a person who is easily tricked or deceived. Law enforcement experts warn that anyone can become the dupe of a professional con artist. Or, dupe can be used as a verb, that means to deceive. Don't be duped by claims that a particular diet will let you eat all you want and still lose weight. Now you say dupe. Repeat the word. Dynamic. Dynamic. Dynamic is an adjective meaning active, energetic, or forceful. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was a dynamic president, despite the crippling effects of polio. Also, planners usually try to choose a dynamic speaker to give the keynote speech at a political convention. Now it's your turn. Say dynamic. And again. Eradicate. Eradicate. Eradicate is a verb meaning to root out, get rid of, or destroy completely. Modern medicine has been able to eradicate smallpox in most of the world. And we have failed to eradicate poverty in the United States. Your turn. Say eradicate. Once again. Frustrate. Frustrate. Frustrate is a verb meaning to prevent from accomplishing a purpose or fulfilling a desire, or to cause feelings of discouragement. A junior officer's failure to follow orders may frustrate a well-conceived battle plan. Or, failure to win public office may frustrate an ambitious politician. Now let's hear you say frustrate. Try the word again. Grim. Grim. Grim is an adjective meaning stern or merciless, or savage and cruel. The faces of those trying to rescue survivors of a natural disaster may be grim. Similarly, any account of the Holocaust makes grim reading. Your turn. Say grim. One more time. Inimitable. Inimitable. Inimitable is an adjective meaning not capable of being copied or imitated. A tap dancer may be known for the inimitable speed of his steps. And an art historian might point out the inimitable brushwork of a painter's mature masterpieces. Now let's hear you say inimitable. And again. Makeshift. Makeshift. Makeshift functions as two parts of speech. It can be used as a noun, that means a temporary substitute for something else. A lean-to in the woods is often nothing more than a makeshift for a more permanent summer retreat. Makeshift can also be used as an adjective, meaning crude, flimsy, or temporary. Using trailers as classrooms is only a makeshift solution to the problem of overcrowded schools. Well, it's your turn now. Say makeshift. Repeat the word. Marginal. Marginal. Marginal is an adjective meaning in, at, or near the edge or margin, or only barely good, large, or important enough for the purpose. In the Middle Ages, monks often added beautiful marginal illustrations to the manuscripts they copied. And in developing countries, people with marginal diets are the first to suffer when there are food shortages. Now it's your turn. Say marginal. Once more. Pending. Pending. Pending is another word that functions as two parts of speech. It can be used as an adjective, meaning waiting to be settled. Newspapers routinely report on pending congressional legislation. Or pending can be used as a preposition that means until. The governor may appoint someone to fill a post pending a special election. Now you try the word. Say pending. Once more. Prescribe. Prescribe. Prescribe is a verb meaning to order as a rule or course to be followed, or to order for medical purposes. A legislature may prescribe requirements for the construction of high-rise apartment houses. Also, for some illnesses, doctors may prescribe changes in diet as well as medication. Now let's hear you say prescribe. Try the word again. Preview. Preview. Preview functions as two parts of speech. It can be used as a noun, meaning something seen in advance. Museum members are usually invited to a private preview of each new exhibition. Preview can also be used as a verb. That means to view beforehand. Travel brochures and videos allow a person to preview a possible vacation spot before making a decision. Now you say preview. Repeat the word. Prominent. Prominent. Prominent is an adjective meaning standing out so as to be easily seen, or important or well-known. Huge bright signs and billboards are Times Square's most prominent fixtures. Or, photographs of many prominent musicians are displayed in the corridors of Carnegie Hall. Now it's your turn. Say prominent. Once again. Quaint. Quaint. Quaint is an adjective meaning pleasingly odd or old-fashioned, clever or skillfully made. Actors at the Plymouth Rock Restoration speak in the quaint accents of the first Pilgrim settlers. And a folk art museum may display quaint items from the past. Now you say quaint. Try the word again. Reluctant. Reluctant. Reluctant is an adjective meaning unwilling or holding back. Some people are a little reluctant to try new ways of doing things. Also, a store may hold a special sale to attract reluctant shoppers. Well, it's your turn now. Say reluctant. One more time. Scrimp. Scrimp. Scrimp is a verb meaning to handle very economically or stingily, or to supply in a scanty way. Many parents are willing to scrimp on luxuries in order to save for their children's education. Or, a building may become run down if the owner scrimps too much on necessary repairs. Now you say scrimp. Repeat the word. Snare. Snare. Snare functions as two parts of speech. It can be used as a verb, meaning to trap or catch. An FBI sting operation may snare a surprising number of criminals. Or, snare can be used as a noun. That means a trap or entanglement. It isn't all that easy to catch some animals in a snare. Now it's your turn. Try to say snare. Once more. Utmost. Utmost. Utmost can be used as two parts of speech. It can be an adjective, meaning greatest, highest, or furthest. A diplomat may undertake a mission that requires the utmost secrecy. Utmost can also be a noun, that means the extreme limit. Most Olympic athletes do their utmost to win the gold medal for themselves and their countries. Now you say utmost. Once again. Vengeance. Vengeance. Vengeance is a noun meaning punishment in return for an injury or a wrong, or unusual force or violence. A desire for vengeance motivates many characters in Shakespeare's plays. Or, settlers on the frontier often fought with a vengeance to protect their homes and families. Now you know the drill by now. Say vengeance. Once again,